Well, what's going on, guys? David Cook here with the Wealth Network. We are having some technical difficulties tonight, but I'm still going to get on. So basically what we have going on right now, this is typically a spotlight, an interview spotlight on one of our members. Jim Shannon House is the member tonight, but he's having issues with his microphone, so we can't hear him. So obviously, if you can't hear somebody, it's hard to do an interview. And then my camera is not working on my computer. So obviously not a big issue for me because I'm not the star of the show. But if we can't get Jim's microphone up, then that's the issue. So what I'm going to do is tell you guys a little bit about myself and a little bit about my story and a little bit about the Wealth Network and what we do. So those of you who haven't heard, the Wealth Network is a training platform, and we essentially have created a number of systems inside the training program for e-commerce. Now, think e-commerce, you think eBay, Amazon, those types of places. We specialize in the training of new and intermediate and soon advanced e-commerce professionals. So so that's what we do. That's what the Wealth Network is. Again, my name is David Cook. I am one of the trainers, and I've put a lot of the content that's inside for new members to come in and do and work through, and all the training videos. Myself and Brian Cinnamon did a lot of those. So that's kind of what we have inside the training network. Now, like I said, normally we highlight a member that's doing really well, which Jim is. So as soon as he can get his microphone up, we are going to interview him. But I wanted to first thank everybody for coming on, and I wanted to thank everybody for staying patient with us tonight, because I know you probably hopped on and expected us to be talking at 8, and we're not interviewing in Jim yet. So totally fine. But I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll talk a little bit about myself and a little bit about my experience in e-commerce. So I got started in e-commerce about 4 years ago, and I was in the military at the time, and I didn't really have a path to get out. I knew I wanted to get out. I knew I probably didn't want to work for somebody else when I got out, but I needed a way, and I didn't have a way until I found e-commerce. And back in 2014, I started selling a little bit on eBay and started making a little bit of money drop shipping. And then I got into Amazon and really started making some great money. So so for me, the path was I guess it's not like it happened overnight, right? I ended up, fast forward 3 years from that point, I ended up being able to quit my job in the military and work for myself. So I've been doing that for about a year and a quarter now, or a year and a half. So been able to do that. So that's been great. But the first 6 to 12 months are always the hardest for people, and that's what somebody that's newer, I always try to impress upon that. That your first 6 months, you're really focused on just learning, and that's all you're worried about, is learn as much as you can. The money's going to come later. You hear about great athletes, or actors or actresses, or anybody that's really good at their craft. They don't focus on the results. They focus on the process that leads to those results, being very, very good at the process at hand and figuring out actionable steps within that process that they can take each day, each hour, each minute, to get them closer to their goal. And a lot of people get wrapped up, they get in and they know what the end looks like. They know that they maybe want to quit their job or make an extra, $2,000 or $3,000 a month. Whatever your goal is, your goal can really be as small or as large as you want it to be. But whatever that goal is, then you need to create those actionable steps to go through it and to figure it out, and figure out a way to get to that goal. So for new people or people that are maybe just getting started, or maybe looking to start, like, that's kind of the mindset that we bring within the training is, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not get rich quick, but it is a way that you can create an income, and that could be an extra income, or it could be a full-time income. Like a lot of people who have been in it for 2, 3, 4 years have created that full-time income. So the first 6 to 12 months is what I always try to impress upon people as the most important, because it's when the most people quit, but it's also when you're going to learn the most and kind of create the foundation for your business. So so for me, I mean, my favorite thing about having an e-commerce business has been, I think, the amount of freedom that it's given me. Not necessarily the fact that I don't work hard anymore, but I can work when I want. Like, um, you know, I've got a family now, so I need to be able to flexible. I need to be able to have some time to, take my kid to the doctor if I need to, or, take my wife on a date, or, I'm a big golfer. So if I want to get on the golf course, like, that's something that's kind of important for me spiritually, if you will, to be out there. So, I need that free time. I know I'm going to have to work. I know I'm going to have to put in the hours, and I do. I probably work, 50, 60, 70 hours a week on my business. But I also do a lot of things that I want to do when I want to do them, which is super nice. So that's, for me, the thing that I like most about e-commerce. Now, that doesn't happen, right off the bat. Like I said, the first 2, 3 years when I was doing this, I was working a full-time job and I was trying to grow the business. So I didn't have a lot of free time. I worked 9 to 5 basically. I came back and at night, I worked the rest of the night in the business until you build it up to a point where you can leave your job. So, so I'll take you back. I mean, when I first started, my initial goal was, and I didn't even know, some people may be looking at this and they have no idea what their goal could be. Now, my goal when I first started was I wanted to make $200 or $300 a month, just have a little bit extra spending cash to pay for my golf membership. That was it. That was what I wanted to do. And it's funny how an opportunity can get presented to you and you don't even know what the opportunity is at the time. But after about 3 months, it became very, very easy for me to see what the opportunity was in front of me. But at the time that I got it, I had no idea. E-commerce was just starting to kind of take off. It was just starting to really get its feet under it, so to speak, as far as companies taking it a lot more seriously. Obviously, you can see 2018, the biggest companies in the world have a huge e-commerce footprint. And, it's not like it's going anywhere. It's not going to stop. We're definitely not going anywhere as far as e-commerce goes. And it's still exciting to me when new people get in, because I know the opportunity that's out there for them, because, my business is still growing 2 to 3 times a year from the year before. So I can still see that growth, and people that are getting in. For me, it's a really exciting time to get into e-commerce because of that, because it's still growing. It's still limitless. It's still, kind of, the sky's the limit. You can use your imagination. You can do great things. That's what's exciting to me, is that there's still that much opportunity out there, and there's still that much of a land grab, so to speak, for your place in e-commerce. So for me, that's what's exciting for new people getting in. So like I said, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get Jim on tonight, which is unfortunate. But let me see one thing. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get him on, which is too bad. I'm going to give me 1 second. I'll open this up real quick and see if I can. Tell you what, if you guys post any comments on this, I'm trying to think, see if I can see comments. If you guys post any comments, have any questions that you would like to put in the chat, I can answer any on e-commerce, on the Wealth Network, on what we do. Just some basic questions. I can go into that for about 5-10 minutes or so. And if you have anything, great. We can continue this for another 5 or 10 minutes. If you don't, I will hop off of here. So definitely let me know. All right, Jim is back on. Jim, if you want to take your mic off, if you still can. If not, just let me know. Okay, not taking the mic. So if you guys have any questions on the Wealth Network, e-commerce, I can answer them in the chat or on here. But if you don't have anything else, I'll kind of share some things as I'm ending this. But my advice for new people on how to make money online is to just find something and stick with it. I see a lot of people that they go from thing to thing, and it's not necessarily they go from thing to thing. They don't. When I say thing to thing, I mean they move from opportunity to opportunity. They don't stay consistent with one thing, and it takes a long time to get really good at one thing. So if you're in an opportunity for 3 months and then you're not making the $5,000 a month you need to quit your job, and then you go somewhere else, it's a never-ending cycle, and you're never going to create that goal because you're stopping before you have a chance to realize that goal. So that's what I would say is pick something and go. The Wealth Network, great. If it's something else, great. But stick something and stay with it. That's the real thing is, and then yourself that you can do it and get through it. Antonio, get online. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about as far as getting online. So I apologize for that. I am going to hop off here if there's no more questions. Everybody getting on and listening to me. Hopefully somebody found some inspiration from this or found see you next week. We are with this. So this one did not obviously come out the way we wanted to, but this is the first time this has happened. So next week, I don't expect any of these issues. We'll see you next week, 8 o'clock, for the next member spotlight. And thanks, everybody. And we'll see you on the inside.